what is going on, people? It is your old friend, CHH. We're here to review Evil Dead Rise, the brand new Evil Dead film. And before I get into any sort of spoilers, because I do want to touch on a few things, I will let you know. But let's get into it right here and right now. Evil Dead Rise, it's been, man, a decade since the last movie, Evil Dead from 2013, which I actually just revisited. And damn if that's not a good movie. So, you know, all the Evil Deads to me are great, so I was expecting greatness from this next movie, Evil Dead Rise. And I always like to just give you my thoughts up front, if I liked it or not. The answer is absolutely, yeah. I mean, this movie certainly justifies its existence, especially after a 10-year gap. And it's crazy how these movies are getting more serious in tone from what they were, but I think it's working, so that's a good thing. Basically, the plot is this. I'm going to give it to you extremely simple. It's Evil Dead in an apartment complex with the power off because there's a storm. So those are actually some pretty good combinations, if you ask me. You've got a mother and her kids in this apartment, and the sister's coming to visit after she finds out something crucial about her own personal life. I'll keep that part spoiler-free, of course. And all this comes to a head when there's this horrible earthquake that goes on, and one of the kids sees in the hole in the parking lot of the apartment complex, it leads down to some kind of what looks like a mail bank vault. And in that, he finds, you guessed it, the Book of the Dead, along with a couple records that have some noteworthy things on there about the Book of the Dead, and all hell absolutely breaks loose. There are a lot of positive things I'd like to say about this film. Number one is the role of the mother that has the three kids in the movie. She blew me away. She was amazing. She was just as good as the last main girl from 2013 that was overcoming the drug addiction she had. Oh, God. I don't know where they're finding these women who are so good at being scary, but this one is equally as talented. I loved her look. She had the long red hair. She was a tattoo artist. I love the vibe and aesthetic of the apartment. Those are my kinds of people, right? I don't know where they're finding these kids that can act this good. It's like, what's going on? These kids are acting as good as I've ever seen, and Evil Dead Rise has fantastic performances from not only the adults, but the kids. So they all did a great job. This movie is bloody, painful, dark, moody. All those things get massive thumbs up. Yeah, I think having Sam Raimi be involved from a producer standpoint is ever present here, and I don't think he's phoning anything in with his name being attached to these movies. I really think he's helping out and putting his best foot forward, as well as Bruce Campbell. So I applaud those two guys big time. I have a few gripes about this movie. One of them is a tiny little fan service thing that I just did not need or feel was necessary, but that is a hardcore horror fan's gripe, so for the average person, they're not going to give a rat's ass about it. And number two was just the ending of the film, but not necessarily the ending, but just the last climax of what happens to it. Because of that, they're small gripes. This movie is still leaps and bounds better than half the crap that's coming out today. And with that, I am pretty confident in giving this 4 or 4.5 stars. I mean, it's going to really resonate with a lot of people in terms of suspense, moodiness, and just an amazing performance by the woman who plays the mom in this film. She just did an absolutely amazing job. So with that, we'll get into some spoilery things. It's not going to take long, so if you want to get out of here, now's the time. 3, 2, 1. The only few things I wanted to gripe about, I thought I was going to gripe about some of the kids getting possessed, right, by the Necronomicon and everything, but they actually leveled that out really good, quite frankly. And the middle child that was swallowing the blades of glass, oh, God, that was probably the most painful thing to me in the movie. So that all was good. The Dead by Dawn chant, it was cute for a second when one person said it, but then when the chant came, I was just like, again, this is a hardcore horror fan gripe, but I was just like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need fan service. As a matter of fact, I don't want any fan service in this. So I would have done without that. And I don't know if it's just because I watched the 2013 movie or not, but the ending of the blob human monster thing, which was the culmination of this Book of the Dead, it was a little underwhelming compared to just how creepy and good the mom was as the entity the possessed person. Like, she was so scary and creepy and suspenseful. But by the time we got to what that blob hand spider human monstrosity, it felt just a tad underwhelming. Not so much in the approach, because there was actually some decent suspense with the sister and the littlest girl running away from him, but just the visual of it was just, and maybe nothing would have matched how good I thought the performance was of the mom and how creepy she was, but that was just a tad bit underwhelming for me. So that's why I'm gonna say about 4.5 stars. I'm pretty confident with 4.5 because other than that, everything was great. The opening was fantastic. I loved the visual with the title screen. That was just balls to the wall great. So those are my gripes, but that's really about it, to be honest with you. So Evil Dead Rise not only justifies its existence, but it's a welcomed entry for me in this series. And while it's not going to be my all-time favorite in the series, I gladly am going to rewatch this film regularly because it's just a damn good movie and it's got its unique, identifiable feel in this franchise, so to speak. So Evil Dead Rise is going to get 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up from me, but I just have a few small gripes that are going to keep it from being a perfect score, as it were, which I think most of the Evil Dead movies are. So let me know what you guys think about this film. I'm sure a lot of people are going to dig this film, but it'll be interesting to hear the opinions on this because this one, it goes in some different twists and turns. So thank you guys for watching. This is good old CHH. Drop a like on this video if you haven't. Be sure to drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts and sub to the channel if you have not. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Hey, a huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.